Hi guys, myself Deepak Noria. I am working as Vice President in the group WWICS looking after sales and marketing. I welcome you all at today's webinar that we are going to discuss about permanent residency options in Canada. Around 100, more than 100 people have already joined us, and although there are more than 1200 registrations we have received for today's webinar, so far there are 110 attendees I can see. So let people join. In the meantime, I'll introduce you to this organization, to the agenda of today's webinar. Already told you about myself. I'm working with this organization from past 10 years, and we specialize in permanent residency for Canada, for Australia, for UK, New Zealand, US, in all the three major segments. One is skilled professionals, those who are educated, working in the relevant field of education, and want to settle overseas along with family permanently. That is called skilled immigration. We cater to those people. This is the major segment, and I'm heading this division. Second segment is those who want to, set up some kind of business or acquire an existing business overseas in any country, primarily Canada, US, Australia, New Zealand. So we cater to that segment also, entrepreneur segment. Global business investment options to get citizenship, work permit, and permanent residency. So WWICS has a specialization in that field too. Third segment is for students. Students after 10th or after 10+2, those who wants to acquire higher education overseas. So we cater to that division as well. So we have specialization not only limited to immigration services, but to parental visa, to spousal visa, to refused cases, to work permits, to TRVs, not only for Canada, but for Australia also, for UK, for New Zealand, and for US. We have been into this business from past 27 years. It's more than 2.5 decades. And we have already successfully settled around 300,000 people. 3 lakh families have already successfully settled in their dream destination countries through WWICS. You could be the next one. So that is why we are here today, just to make you guys aware about the current situation under this COVID-19 situation, how immigration is proceeding, how the changes are affecting the current participants' current dreams, and how the new applications can be processed. What are the ways and what are the relaxations given by Government of Canada for the new immigrants? So today's session I'm going to discuss and will limit my talk to Canada only. So once again, I welcome you all to this beautiful seminar conducted by WWICS. So far, there are 115 people, those who have joined us, and I hope you all will gain good information and will clarify your doubts as well. Before moving ahead and starting my presentation, you all would have received one handout from my side. It's a small PDF file with 3 pages, giving all the details about the organization and the programs that I'm going to discuss, along with the contact details and email ID. Post this webinar, you can contact us on those numbers and email IDs. So please look out on your laptops, on your mobile. You'll be able to download a PDF. The name is handout. Okay. So please try to look out. We have confirmed it's an automatic process. You all have received that, those who are attending this webinar. So you can communicate through those given numbers with us post this webinar. So our talk, let's begin. I'll just share the presentation with you so that you can see also, you can easily understand, and I'll keep on giving you the details of how we are going and moving ahead with the programs for Canadian immigration. Can you see the screen? Again, I need a confirmation from anybody. I hope you can see the screen. with WWICS, Immigrate to your Dreamland with WWICS. Any one of you can you please confirm me if you can see the screen? You can raise your hand or you can talk to me. My panelists can talk to me. I have not heard anyone saying yes. Okay, okay, okay. Got it, got it. Yes, go ahead. Fine. Thank you for the confirmation, sir. Thanks a lot. I'm waiting for our sales director also and Colonel Sandhu also. So any moment they can join us and I'll put you across to our guest panelists today so that they can also interact with you all and can share their experience as well with you all. So let's begin about Canada. There are a lot many questions, there are a lot many concerns people are asking in the current COVID-19 situation, how applications are being processed. I would like to inform you all that in this current situation, it is Canada which is emerging as a prominent, player, a winner, and inviting country for immigrants. They have already declared their requirement for the year 2020, 2021, as well as 2022. This is the one of the most immigration friendly countries in the world and always inviting to skilled professionals, right? Thousands of occupations are in demand and there are more than 80 programs through which one can really move and settle in Canada. It can be federal programs or provincial nominee programs that we are going to discuss with you today. This is our Colonel CMD, Colonel B.S. Sandhu, the man behind this entire setup, with a vision to provide resettlement solutions to people for making the transition from one country to another in extremely smooth and hassle-free and legal manner. So whatever we are going to discuss today is 100% truthful and transparent. You can verify from the reliable portals. There is no program that is developed or marketed by WWICS. We are only making people aware what are the ways through which you can apply and get permanent residency. We are not limited to immigration, but we have our evolution in these sectors too, that is global placement, through which we help our immigrants to settle overseas in Canada and Australia. We have education institute by the name Continental Group of Institutes. In hospitality industry, we are known by Forest Hill Golf and Country Club. It's a beautiful resort in Mohali. And in the real estate, we are known by the name WWICS Estates. So I'm just cutting few things so that we can talk more about the program, the world's largest resettlement group, which provides customized immigration solution. It is, one-to-one need-based programs. Whatever suits you might not suits your neighbor. So it's a one-to-one counseling platform that we have introduced even in this lockdown situation. Our team comprising of 700 professionals are working from home, including me. So you can get in touch with them. They can provide you one-to-one counseling on WhatsApp, on Zoom, on Skype, as per your convenience. So that you can better understand your chances of eligibility and settling overseas. So skilled professionals, business people, as well as students, these are the major segments through which one can move overseas. We are present in Canada too. We have our office in Toronto, in Australia, in UAE. We are present in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Sharjah, in Bahrain, Kuwait, Oman, Muscat, Kenya, Nairobi, Qatar, Doha. And we have 14 offices in India too. Let's start with Canada. You are aware about the geography. I'm not going to give any kind of statistical figures about demography and growth rate or GDP and etc. Let's discuss about the programs first. The only thing which require understanding is Canada as a country whole. They have two different types of programs. First programs are federal Canada program. Federal means if you apply through a federal stream, you can land anywhere in Canada. as a permanent resident. There is no restriction for any kind of state or territory, right? You're totally free to move. This is except Quebec. So entire Canada is covered except Quebec. Quebec has their own program that we are going to discuss in the subsequent slides. So one is federal, which has no limitations. You can land anywhere, you can live anywhere, and you can work anywhere. Second is the provincial nominee programs. Canada comprises of 10 provinces and 3 territories. Like in India, we call them states, they call these as provinces. Each province has 4 to 5 or even more than 5 different programs through which they manage their study visa permits, they manage their work permits, they manage their permanent residents. Okay, and these streams sometimes are open, sometimes are closed, but on collectively there are around 80 different programs to reach Canada. So second program is provincial nominee programs. The only difference is if you apply through a PNP, provincial nominee program, you are required to land in that particular province, right? And you have to live there for 2 years before moving out to any other state in Canada. That is a legal binding. If you are not able to manage that stay of 2 years, not only stay, your work, your earning, your taxation, everything should be from that particular province. And after 2 years, you are totally free. You can move anywhere in Canada and you can live and you can work also. But under provincial nominee program, there will be a restriction for 2 years. So I'm going to discuss this both aspects, federal as well as provincial nominee. These are the some statistics that are really encouraging. You can see 2018, 19, 20, and 21. The requirement of immigrants every year is increasing, and currently they have announced their quota for 2022 also. So this is the first program. Let's talk about the federal part first. Federal means entire Canada, which is covered, and you can land as per your choice. There is no restriction of any border. The program is express entry. It's an old program now, 5 years, started since January 2015, and very successful, very promising program. And all the applications for federal are routed and processed through express entry stream. So under the current situation, most of the people are asking how our applications are going to be processed. Let's talk a bit about that. IELTS registration has already started. This is one, right? So you will be able to register yourself. You can sit for an examination in the coming days, probably 10 or 15 days. They have already started the registrations. British Council, I have checked. Second, coming to your ECA, WES, that is the credential assessment. Your education you have obtained outside Canada, its equivalency is mandatory to be determined from the relevant authorities. So under the COVID situation, WES is not processing or accepting any applications, but government has given indication in the coming time, probably week or 10 days, they will start accepting the applications as well. So that pathway will no longer be an obstacle. It will surely be open. Third, TRV cases are being processed. Medicals, we are getting medicals. We are getting visas also. So people in Canada, immigration officers, visa officers, they are also working from home. Government has given special permissions and approvals to the visa officers so that they can work from home to process the pending applications as well as to process the new applications. So it's nothing like things are totally stopped. Cases are taken, cases are being processed, medicals and visas are also released. So there is absolutely no need to worry. Why it is so? Because Canada is a country of immigrants. The population in Canada is aging population. More than 80% population residing in Canada is aging. People are getting older and they are at the verge of their retirement. So without immigrants, that country cannot survive. So the government has already taken this into consideration, and they have managed the processing as well as the outcome of this immigration files in the current situation as well. So absolutely no need to worry about your cases. You just have to take a call to apply. Leave the rest of the things to us. Okay. So let's talk about the programs first. The first is Federal Express Entry Stream, under which the programs which are covered in the Express Entry system are Federal Skilled Worker Program, Federal Skilled Trade Program, Canadian Experience Class, and some portion of Provincial Nominee programs are also covered. Now, what is Express Entry? The eligible candidates can create a profile, okay, which requires only two things. One is your IELTS and second is your ECA, right? Eligible, you should be eligible on these parameters of 4 programs. Either you should be eligible under Federal Skilled Worker Program or Federal Skilled Trade Program or Canadian Experience Class. If you're not eligible in any one of these 3 programs, you cannot even create a profile. So it's a mandate process. Determine your eligibility in one of these programs and you can create a profile. Creating a profile means you are putting an application that I want to get permanent residency for Canada. This is not case filing. This is just expression of interest that I want to be in Canada with family on PR basis. So once your application is accepted based on the eligibility of one of these 3 given programs, it will be moved in the Express Entry pool. This is a combined pool of eligible candidates who have good chances to get permanent residencies if they are invited to apply. So once your application enters into the Express Entry pool, a comprehensive ranking system comprises of 1200 points will be applicable, and you will be communicated by CIC that what is your ranking out of 1200 points. This is called global ranking. Invitation to apply under step 2 ITA is based on your global ranking. So every 15 days, every 20 days, they determine one cutoff level of CRS, and all the applicants falling above that level are invited, are formally, officially invited to file for permanent residency. This is the most important step, that is ITA, invitation to apply. This invitation gives you legal right to lodge your application with CIC under that specific program through which you get ITA. And this is a family permanent residency, family PR, along with spouse and dependent children. So after getting ITA, within 90 days, you're required to submit the entire documentation, entire things which you have earlier claimed points for while creating your profile. So at this stage, in 90 days time, you are required to submit the complete documentation, and thereafter your visa will be processed within 6 months time. This is called Express Entry system. So it's a merit-based process. There is no occupation limit. There is absolutely no capping number of accountants or engineers or doctors. All occupations are open. All managers, all supervisors, all professionals are eligible to apply. There is no capping at all for any kind of profession. Then the basic program eligibility is same. There is no change in that. For example, for federal skilled worker, there is a requirement of 67 points. There is no point system for Federal Skilled Trade Program that we'll discuss subsequently. The point system for Express Entry will be applicable. That is, CR is applicable once your profile is accepted and you are moved into applicant's pool. Nomination or provincial territory. Nomination from the provincial or territory will give you additional 600 points. Every province has one program dedicated or linked with Federal Express Entry. Now, what does it mean? If you get a nomination from a province under the program which is linked with Federal Express Entry, then on the CRS ranking, 600 points will be added additional. Whatever your score, it is 100, it is 200, 300, 400. If you get a nomination from any province, straight away 600 points will be added to your existing CRS in the Express Entry system. So additional 600 points means sure shot ITA. That is a guaranteed ITA under the provincial nominee programs which are linked with Federal Express. Processing time on an average is around 6 months. IELTS and ECA are mandatory for Federal Skilled Worker Express Entry at the time of profile creation. It's very important. No falsify information. If you provide any kind of false information at the time of creating your profile, later on which you cannot provide the documented evidence, your profile will be cancelled. You can even get a ban for 5 years. You will not be allowed to apply for immigration for at least 5 years. Okay, now how this ranking is done, how it is, they determine the points, 1200 points. There are various combinations, various applications, online calculators, tools are given, and we can determine that under your assessment eligibility will guide you how your points are determined under this express entry CRS. So 1200 points are there. So out of 1200 points, there are 24 different combinations, various factors through which you can determine that how much you are scoring. So it's very important that you should be aware. Will under the eligibility criteria will guide you what is your CRS and how you are likely to get ITA. These are the latest updates, some changes which has come up in the express entry. It's not of much importance, but yes, if it gives an insight into the program, how the points varies from a person to person. Even if a job offer is there, earlier there used to be 600 points for that, but now it is reduced to 50 or 200 points for a job offer, right? So these are the some variations which from time to time our lawyers are taking care of while filing your case, while doing your eligibility for determining your eligibility while undertaking the assessment. Okay, how WWICS is going to help? This is very important and should be of interest to you all. Out of, I've already told you there are 70 to 80 programs. First important aspect is whether you are eligible and in which program. So WWICS carries out a comprehensive technical assessment, 360-degree approach, not only of the main applicant but of the spouse also, that who should be the main applicant and in which program you have better chances to get permanent residency. So this technical evaluation is most important. We will not charge any retainer fee from you unless and until you are through in this technical assessment. Okay, and this is carried out under this supervision of our lawyers, our facilitators, our attorneys from Canada. Your profiles are discussed with them, then only it is determined that this program is most suitable for you to get permanent residency. Apart from this ECA, there are 7 authorities, 7 bodies through which ECA can be done, and there are some variations in the outcomes also. So based on our experience, we have already done more than 500,000 assessments from this ECA official authority. So we can guide you which authority gives you a positive result. Then vetting of job duties, knock allocation, creating your online express entry profile, creating a job bank profile, selection through agent or agents in Canada that can guide you whether you will get a job offer through which you can gain additional 50 or 200 points. These are all complementary services which are part of express entry. Then alternate assessment for PNPs. There are various provincial nominee programs which are open, and your profile can be suited in one of the provincial nominee program if you're not making the threshold of that cutoff level of CRS to get ITA. So we can guide you that which provincial nominee program is most suitable for you to apply and gain permanent residency apart from the main assessment. Then having a job offer means additional points you can get ITA, your application for permanent residency filing. In the current situation, government has given a clear instructions to all the visa hosts across the globe that no case should be rejected because of lack of documentation. They will give enough time, they will give extended time frame to submit the required documents. Even today we got a medical, one of my clients was in Kuwait. Because of the lockdown situation, he is working in the cantonment area, not able to fulfill the requirement, so embassy has given an extension of 30 days to him, right? So it's a very relaxed criteria as on date, and everyone should take benefit of that. These are the express entry draws. Off late, I'll just talk that the cutoff is around 470 points. Those who are making 470 or above should 100% apply, and those who are not making 470 or less than that, they should think of alternates like provincial nominee programs linked with express entry, or provincial nominee programs which are not even linked with express entry, that I'm going to discuss now with you. These are the targeted missions. Eligibility of the program. Let's talk about these programs. First program is federal skilled worker. 67 points is the basic eligibility. That 1200 cutoff out of 1200 CRS, that is the ultimate eligibility to get ITA. But the program eligibility is different. So first you need to understand the program eligibility, then your chances of getting ITA, which is based on your CRS. So first program is federal skilled worker. You are required to claim 67 points out of possible 100 points. If you're not even getting 67 points, you cannot create your profile. Okay, and making 67 points does not mean that you will get IT. So these are the two different aspects. So eligibility is 67 points based on age, education, experience, language proficiency, spouse education, and your blood relative if residing in Canada as a resident or as a citizen. These are the basic factors through which this program's eligibility is determined. Second is federal skilled trade program. I'm just covering few programs which are really good, which are result oriented and giving positive outcomes as well. Just 4 or 5 programs that I'm going to discuss, and later on you can ask your questions. You can put up your inquiries in the questions format, and we'll try to answer each and every thing that has been put across to us. So this second program is for trade people. Trade people, those who have acquired a certificate or a apprenticeship in trade, like plumber, electrician, welder, and their supervisors also. There are 80 listed occupations. No point system is there. No fancy education. Degrees are required. Maybe 6 months diploma course from ITI or NCVT is good enough. IELTS requirement is also very relaxed, and you need to just claim lesser points in IELTS. Speaking and listening is 5 bands. Reading and writing is 4 to 3.5 bands. So these are the relaxed requirements, but the limitation is a job offer is mandatory. Without a job offer from an eligible Canadian employer, you will not be eligible to file and get permanent residency in federal skilled trade program category. Third is experience category. These are all federal programs, no restriction of any province. So third is experience class, Canadian experience class. So if you are in Canada, it is only restricted to those applicants who are already in Canada on a work permit, on a student permit, who have completed their education, now looking for a job. Okay, so this through this category, one can get permanent residency. We cater to this also. Now, most important and most interesting, this is the express entry linked provincial nominee programs. Most of the people, we have seen the statistics, we have filed thousands of cases, we have seen not even 1% applications are eligible to get that cutoff score of 470 or above independently under federal skilled worker program. So remaining 99%, what is their scope, what is their future? The future lies here in provincial nominee programs. All these provinces which you can see on your screen, Alberta, British Columbia, Manitoba, New Brunswick, Newfoundland and Labrador, Northwest Territories, Nova Scotia, Ontario, Prince Edward Island, Saskatchewan and Yukon, they all have their program which is linked with express entry. Means if you get a nomination through this program from these provinces, 600 points will be added and you will get 100% ITA. The applicable fee for High Commission changes from time to time. Approximation, it is given on your screen, 1325. That is the right of residency, that is the processing fee. And coming to the settlement fund, the funds which are required for you to show and carry along at the time of entering Canada depends upon the size of the family. You can see and note. Okay. Then coming to specific provincial nominee program like Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan is always open. Saskatchewan has 2 programs primarily under Saskatchewan International Skilled Worker category. One is linked with express entry, second is not linked with express entry. The one which is linked with express entry and the other which is not linked with express entry, the occupation demand list is same, right? They have rather given an occupation demand list which is restricted in nature. That means these 129 occupations cannot apply. So while determining your eligibility, we refer to the program guidelines given by the authorities. Only 129 occupations cannot apply. Remaining all are eligible. Second requirement is 60 points. Out of the given points, you are required to meet 60 minimum. Then you can participate in the program. This program is totally open. Anyone can apply, create a profile. Again, the provincial authorities will decide you to invite and submit a formal application. Once the formal application is submitted, a nomination is granted, 600 points are added, and you get ITA under Express Entry. Very good program, very lucrative program, and most active. One of the most active provincial nominee programs in Canada is Saskatchewan, followed by Alberta. Same thing, but the eligibility is totally different. No point system is there, like under Prince Edward Island or Nova Scotia or Newfoundland. All the programs are different, right? It is not something that all requires point. There is occupation demand list. We cater to all these programs based on your profile, based on your education and experience. We manage to determine the eligibility that okay, your profile fits for Nova Scotia or Prince Edward Island, Manitoba or Saskatchewan. Accordingly, we file it there. It is not that all the programs are open and one application can be filed in 13 provinces. Never. It's not possible. Maybe one or two, maximum three, you can say maximum. And I haven't seen any such cases who is eligible at three levels, three different provinces. I have seen cases who are eligible in two very different provinces and they get invitation to apply, followed by a nomination and followed by PR. So leave that assessment to us. We'll guide you which program is best suitable for you. Another program is Atlantic Immigrant Pilot Program. This is the talk of the town. Everyone is asking AIPP. Okay, I'll clarify you. This is a very good program, and we are doing it from past 3 years. It is a pilot program, basically started 3 years back, and is very successful by these provinces, marine provinces, which includes New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, and Newfoundland and Labrador. These are the only 4 provinces which are participating in AIPP. Direct PR, not linked with express entry at all. No CRS is required, nothing, no invitation to apply. So what is this program? If the eligible designated employer from any of these 4 provinces offers a job to any foreign national in India, overseas, outside Canada, or even in Canada on a work permit, the person, those who have completed their education or they are on a work permit with some other companies or in the other provinces. If a designated employer from Atlantic provinces gives a full-time job offer, based on that, endorsement will be filed by the employer, and basis on which a nomination will be granted by the province. Once a nomination is granted, you will get direct permanent residency without any kind of express entry or ITA. This is a permanent residency process for family. Entire family will be eligible, will migrate, and you have to go to that particular province. You have to work with that particular employer for at least 2 years before deciding on to move to any other part of Canada. Processing time is very, very fast. Probably in 6 months time, this entire process is done. No LMIA is required. I repeat, LMIA process is not linked with this Atlantic Immigrant Pilot Program. Most of the occupations, I can say rather 2 occupations which are in high demand, right? One is long haul truck drivers, and second is nursing aides, right? Even GNM nursing, ANM nurses, even BSc nurses, they can apply, but the requirement is of nursing aides, not a registered nurse, right? So these 2 programs, apart from hospitality, cooks are required, chefs are required. So if you have any such occupations with a valid documented evidence of your experience and certification as well, like for long haul truck drivers, license is required and 3 years experience is mandatory. For a cook or chef profile, you need a certification of acquiring education proper, formal education followed by work experience. Even for nursing program, you require a formal education diploma or certificate followed by a relevant experience of at least 1 year in the past 3 years. IELTS requirement is very relaxed, just CLB level 5 is the only requirement. ECA is mandatory. So that means 12 years of education is a must. If a person is not having a 12 years of education, his or her ECA cannot be done and is not eligible for Atlantic. So this is a very good program for Canada. Third category under provincial nominee programs is Manitoba. Manitoba is a province in Canada. Capital is Winnipeg, and they have a general stream, they have a family stream, but the underlining requirement is you need to get a support affidavit of support from a resident or citizen who is residing in Manitoba. Then only a person is eligible. So if you have a family, if you have a friend, a distant friend even, or a distant relative willing to offer you this affidavit of support, not a financial security, not a job offer, nothing, just an undertaking that he or she, their family is going to help your settlement in the province of Manitoba in all possible ways. Okay, so based on that, your eligibility can be determined and your case can be filed. Okay, Manitoba has their own express entry, they have their own cutoff, they have their own CRS. So we will determine that accordingly. We'll guide you, will tell you whether you are eligible for Manitoba or not. Now coming to the province called Quebec that I've told you, it's a separate province, it's a separate program. Entire Canada is all covered in federal, but this province only Quebec is not covered in federal. They have their own regulations, they have their own rules and programs also to determine the eligibility and to give permanent residence. So most popular program for Quebec is Quebec skilled worker point-based program. It is, if you are single, you are required to make 50 points out of possible 99, and if you are married, your score should be minimum 59 out of possible 116. So there the only requirement is French. It's a French majority population speaks French in Quebec. English is the second official language. So if you are good in French, good means not basic, not intermediate, but advanced intermediate, it's B2 level. So there are 6 levels of French testing: A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. A1 is the basic and C2 is the highest proficiency. So if you can manage to claim fourth level means B2 level in French testing. There are tests in French language, just like IELTS or this other tests are there for English language. For IELTS, for French also there are different tests. TEF is there, TCF is there, DELF is there. So you have to enroll into that test, prove your proficiency, claim points for that, and then only you'll be eligible to file. Without French, you cannot claim your eligibility or get permanent residence. Oh, there are a lot many occupations which are in demand. Quebec is the financial hub, engineering sector primarily in Canada. So all computer engineers, all kind of engineers, all kind of medical occupations, technologists, technicians, every profession is in demand in Quebec. These now coming to the new additions to Canada. These are the programs so far we have discussed old programs, right? So this is the new entry, which is called the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot, RNIP. Canada, they want immigrants, right? All the programs have their own limitations. All the programs, they are good at their end, but they are not very good to attract good volume of people, which is required by Canada, right? So that is why government has understood this and they have come up with the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. Again, a pilot, just a testing process, very relaxed program. They have identified 11 communities. Communities means corporations, municipal corporations, you can say. Small towns or big villages having population of 75,000 people to 2 lakh people, like this. They have identified, you can see the name in the Ontario, it is North Bay, followed by Sudbury, followed by Timmins, followed by Sault Ste. Marie, followed by Thunder Bay. 5 communities in Ontario only. 2 communities are in Manitoba. One is Altona, second is Brandon. 1 community in Saskatchewan, which is called Moose Jaw. Then 1 community in Alberta by the name Charles Home. 2 communities in British Columbia. One is Vernon and second is West Kootenay. So out of these 11, they have already opened 6 communities. They have their websites. In the coming times, programs are getting updated, new requirements are being published. So more and more, by the end of this year, all the communities will be live. Now, what the program is actually? The program says it is totally independent from express entry. No CRS, no IELTS, no degrees, nothing is required at all. Right? The program says there are people residing, there are employers in these communities who are looking to hire people, right? But everyone wishes to land in Toronto only or in Vancouver only. So the density of population, more and more people are moving to only metropolitan or bigger cities. So these small towns are not getting enough number of immigrants as are required by the local employers. So to attract people, talented people, those who wants to reside and live in Canada in these particular communities, they publish their occupation demand lists. Every community, every employer in that community, they publish it. It's on the net, right? Based on which the applicant can approach the employer, can create a profile, share his or her details on the community portal, which is accessible by the employer. The employer can see your credentials, your education, your experience, and if it is matching to the employer's requirement, employer will contact you. By contacting means he'll take a telephonic interview or a Skype interview. Upon selection, he'll offer a job. If you manage to get a job offer from this community's employer, direct permanent residency. Know that CLB level 7 or 8 or 9, nothing is required based on the occupation level. If your occupation is falling under O level and A level, that is a professional or managerial, the maximum requirement is CLB level 6. It's very easy to manage. And if it is occupation is at B level, then CLB level 5 is good enough to score. If the occupation is at C and D level, you are required to clear IELTS with only CLB level 4. So very relaxed education requirement, no express entry, no tantrums of different and difficult requirements, very easy program. But it is again based on your own credentials. If upon selection, you get a job offer, sure shot permanent residency in a span of probably 6 months, you'll get permanent residency along with the family. We also cater to work permit. We are being associated with Canadian employers in good numbers, more than 500, 600 Canadian employers. We are providing manpower to, right? So they share their manpower requirements, which includes many professions, many occupations in transportation, in healthcare, in hospitality. Major is hospitality. And from time to time, they put across the requirement, which we try to fulfill from overseas, from India, from UAE also. So if you want to work in Canada, want to get a work permit only, not permanent residency, it also leads to PR subsequently, right? There are limitations. If you are eligible for PR, the first option is go for PR. But somehow, if you're not eligible, then work permit is the only option. Very fast processing, no IELTS is required, or very relaxed IELTS is required. Hundreds of job openings, and if you are really aspirant to live in Canada, this is the shortest and the best route, and WWICS can help you to get a good employer, get a good job in your profile, in your occupation. So we cater to this process also. I'm just restricting my talk to Canada. I'm not discussing anything as of now for Australia or for other countries. Just to give a glimpse to you, we cater to Australia, we cater to Poland, we cater to Portugal, right? Work permits, and there are various programs, right, which we can help you to determine your eligibility, and by adopting a proper channel, you can easily get onto those countries on a proper permanent residency or on a work permit. So trust to WWICS, it's very important. It's very crucial time to take a call to decide that which is the best route, and WWICS, with the help of its legal advisories, which comprises of IRCC members, attorneys, barristers. Uh, we have got a panel of more than 15 lawyers and paralegals working with us who are, the best judge based on your profile and can help you to determine the best eligibility for any program you opt for. So at the end, I would just request you to share your CVs, share your resume, get your assessment done, and then once you are qualifying, it is possible that you can easily file your case and get permanent residency in a span of 6 to 8 months time. So it's a deciding time for everyone, and you should all take advantage of the same. Any questions from your end? Those who wants to clarify anything, you are most welcome. You can open your mic, you can put it in the form, in this questions form. We'll try to answer one by one. And before concluding, we have shared a small handout to all of you. A small handout which comprises of our detailed information, details of the program, detail about the group, and a message from our CMD sir also. So please don't forget to download it, even from your laptop or from your mobile. You can easily download it, so you can save it. It has all the information relevant to Canadian permanent residency, as well as how you can reach us, how you can approach us, and how you can retain our services and manage to file your case. So I'm just looking for to hear from your end. Let me see if I can see any questions or remarks from any one of you. Show questions. Okay. All right. There are lot many questions people are putting across. Guys, I really love to answer all these questions. I'll take few if the time permits us. We have another 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, let's see. I'm a lawyer with 6 years of continuous practice in courts. BLLB, married, one daughter, wife become, wants to know about permanent residency in Australia or Canada. Sir, you are eligible, but the person has already left. I can see that. Okay. Most of you are inquiring about this is my qualification, whether I'm eligible or not. I want to know about permanent residency process in Canada with one option of work permit from India to Canada as sales representative. Most of the things I have already covered, right? Work permit I have already covered. People are asking about express entry. What is CRS? I have already covered. What is WES? I have already covered. Okay. Then I want to apply through provincial nominee programs and AIPP. That also I have covered. So most of the things I can see people are asking. I am a diagnostic radiographer in government of Rajasthan since 20 years. Yes, radiographer, one can apply as a radiographer. It's in demand occupation. Do you also assist in owner operator LMIA work permit? Yes, we do that. Please get in touch with my team. Share your details. Will certainly help you. I have 5 years experience in hospitality. Most demanded occupation is hospitality industry. So please take a call, get onto the assessment and retain the services. I am a retail professional with an experience of 13 years and want to immigrate to Canada. Okay, but information is not good enough to comment anything. I am a retail professional done. My spouse is 37 years. I would like to know about how I can move to Canada with my whole family, right? And what and who all can be part of my family. Okay. See, your family comprises of husband, wife, and dependent children. 20, 22, 21 year is the age limit for a dependent. If a child has completed 21 years, entered into 22nd, cannot be part of your application. Up to 21 year, your child can be part of your application. Your parents, your brothers, sisters cannot be part of your application. So only husband, wife, and dependent children can be part of the application. All right, you can call your parents on visitor visa, on super visa. They can go along with you. They can stay, but getting permanent residency is not something you can apply along with your applications. Once you are settled there, you started earning, meet the minimum income levels which are required, then only you can sponsor your parents. It's a doable process, and we undertake that program also. Other questions are there? Okay, so many yes when I inquired about whether you can hear me or no. So today's agenda is regarding provincial nominee programs. Yes, I have already shared that. Any requirement for pharmacist technician? That's good. Pharmacist technicians can also apply. I'm a big fan of your organization and I'm a student of Continental College. Okay, most welcome. Want to apply and we'll share the details soon. Thank you. Want to know whether personnel from teaching profession can migrate to Canada? Yes, I have already told there is no limitation. All the occupations are eligible. It is not something that this can apply, that cannot apply. All occupations are eligible. Only you need to determine how many points you are scoring and which pathway suits your profile the best. So leave that to us. We'll guide you the best way, the best program through which you can apply. I have done bachelor's in engineering, but my master's is in English. Am I eligible for express entry? Yes, you are. And I have experience of 3 years working as English teacher. Okay. Yes, you are eligible, my friend. You can easily apply. Requirement is there. Australia has most stringent requirement. An engineer should be a degree holder in engineering. A teacher should be a degree holder in teaching only. Right, but Canada is little relaxed in comparison to Australia. So if there is a mismatch also, but there is in this particular case a person is engineering degree holder as well as masters in English and is teaching English subject. So it's a good combination. You can easily apply, no problem in that. Do you help in getting job offers for AIPP? Yes, we do, but only under this occupations that I have discussed: nursing profile, long haul driving profile, and third is hospitality. Can you send the presentation? Okay, recording for the view. Service charges by WWICS. We are offering a very discounted fee in this lockdown situation, and you can pay in installments also. Our standard charges are around 1 lakh to 1,25,000. But looking at the current situation and the need of the hour, most of the people are, facing difficulty to pay these fees in lump sum. So as a special offer in the handout we have shared with you, in the next 3 days, if you decide to return our services, we are offering 50% discount to every person who is attending this webinar. So take this opportunity and grab it. Does not have the handout. Already I have shared the handout. It's a by default there in your mobile, in your computer. You need to download it. Just look out the options from where you can download the handout. It is already there. It is already circulated. I have got your email IDs also. I'll try to push this handout through email also. Okay. So don't worry. I'm a single mother, 36-year-old, working as a teacher, educator at reputed institution for 2 years. Yes, you are eligible, ma'am. You are asking for the eligibility, but this small statement, I cannot determine your points. I need the complete resume. Then only I can see how many points you are making and which program is best suitable to you. There are hundreds of questions still pending, and we are reaching the time limit of today's session. It's already 5:05. So thank you once again to all the participants who have spared their time and attended this webinar. Your encouragement helps us to improve, helps us to deliver this information at your desktop, at your mobile, in your home. So at the last, I can only pray for your safety in the current situation. The world is facing, India is facing a very tough time, but definitely we will emerge out as a winner, and we will definitely reach out to the destination countries we dream of in for settling along with the families. So wish you all the best. Take the appropriate decision in the right time. That is most important. Time is everything. So even if we are sitting at home, we can take few things, we can manage certain steps that can help us to get permanent residency in Canada or Australia. So please stay in touch with our counselors. My team will be reaching out to all of you in the coming days, and you can share your details, you can get on your assessment, and thereafter you can decide on the right pathway through which you can get permanent residence. Thank you once again for attending this webinar. Stay safe, stay at home. Thank you.